Campaigns and elections are all about rules, reality, strategies, and choices. Rules, reality, strategies, and choices. If you understand those four things, then you will have a lot to say about how American political campaigns are conducted and what we might predict for the outcomes. So the simple example, let's look back at the 2016 presidential election. A fundamentally important rule is that the winner of the presidency is not the one who gets the most votes. That would be a different rule, but the person who wins the electoral college. So it's then also a fact, or I should say a reality, that the Democrats are almost certain to win some states and the Republicans to win other states. So each campaign is trying to put together an electoral college majority, understanding that the Democrats are almost certainly going to win California, for example, and the Republicans are almost certain to win Texas. So the reality is that some states are pretty much out of play, and other states are quite in play, the battleground states. So the key strategy for both Republicans and Democrats is how to win those battleground states. How can you mobilize your voters? How can you get energy for your party at the same time that you try to make sure that the other party's voters don't come out in its force, not through suppression, but perhaps, once again, by changing the rules. The rules indicate how long the polling places are open, where they're located, what it takes to register, and so forth. So the Democrats typically find that the longer the hours, the more the voting places, and the easier the registration requirements, the more likely it is the Democrat voters will vote. Republicans, in contrast, would prefer shorter hours, fewer polling places, and more stringent voter ID requirements, voter registration requirements. So both parties are trying to adjust the rules to make the rules that favor their interests. So the campaigns have to win a majority of the electoral college. They have natural advantages in some states, but not in other states. And their strategies then are winning those battleground states. Ultimately, though, it's the choices that face the voters that will determine the outcome of the election. In the 2016, if a different Republican had been on the ballot, maybe a Democrat would have won. If a different Democrat had been on the ballot, perhaps things would have been differently. So ultimately, the voters had two real choices: Donald Trump or Hillary Clinton. The choices that those voters made, those who were eligible to vote and able to vote in those battleground states, determined the outcome of the election. Donald Trump became the president because he was best able to use the rules, the reality, to make strategic choices, to provide voters the choice, and he got enough of the voters to vote for him to put him over the top.